No, man, we have to talk. We have to touch on it. Series is tied 2-2. Game three is tomorrow. Um, game three, I guess I said game three. Game five is tomorrow in Sacramento. The Warriors are going back. The Warriors come. They get game four by the hair on their skinny chin chin. Um, Coming just a missed 3-pointer away by Harrison Barnes to be going down 3-1 and then having to go back to Sacramento for game five. But the series is tied 2-2. Both teams did what they were supposed to do. They protected home court. I was saying earlier, I'm not saying whichever team wins this is going to the finals, but like that vibe and that energy in terms of the importance and the significance of winning this series and coming out of this series, it has a conference finals, NBA finals, like it feels like it has like those type of implications on this series, even though it's just the first round. Um, Sedacious, we know our brother Shanhar Izzo, he said bring out the caskets, bring the funeral clothes, flower bringing and slow singing. When the Warriors were down 0-2. But Sedacious, you stood firm, you didn't waver. You said, hey, we go down 0-3, then come back and holler at me. But y'all are tied 2-2. Um, what is like your take as a Warriors fan, as a Stephen Curry fan? Do you feel like do you now respect the Sacramento Kings to be like, all right, they got some shit? Or do you feel like it's just a matter of time before the Warriors like just remind everybody like we are who we've always been and will be?
I think the time to do that is game five. I'm pulling for them to win game five. If they win game five, clearly it's over. Um, but if they lose game five, I feel like they could lose the series, right? And I'm just not a biased person when it comes to just the X's and O's, right?
Real quick, if they lose game five, if the Warriors lose game five, can you foresee them losing on their home court in game six?
Not at all. It's gonna be forced to a game seven, and maybe possibly Sacramento can pull it out at home, right? Maybe possibly because I feel like you're still in danger if you let Golden State go home and tie the series up for them to play one more game, right? Because I feel like this is the game that they edge. I feel like they understand that. I feel like they go into Sacramento locked and loaded, ready to go, ready to play physical, defense, the whole nine, right? So they can come home and possibly close it out at home comfortably. You know what I'm saying? Just knowing how they know to play the game. The reason why we call it championship DNA because if you've gone to the championship, that means you've done a lot of chess playing. You've done a lot of checkers, right, to get to where you're the last team. So I feel like they have the experience. Sacramento doesn't, and that's what's going to edge them out.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll pick up the mic. Um,
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
yeah, man. I felt the feeling was going to happen. If it would have fell 0-3, I would have been disappointed in Golden State. Definitely did choose Sacramento to win the series, but like I said, it's not out of disrespect. It's just out of like what I've seen throughout the whole season. Like they're terrible. They're a terrible road team. Not to make them feel like crap about it, but they just are. And I feel like Sacramento has just a lot of I can't say the right pieces, but they have the right stuff to be able to do it. That's exactly what I'll say. Because they're not quite championship caliber in my opinion yet, but they're definitely a competitor, a strong competitor, a very strong competitor. Not quite what's what we're looking for, championship caliber, but like I said, I feel like I see the series going Sacramento winning game five, and I feel like they may sneak game six. And I say sneak because the fact that those last two games they lost by like not the last two games, but they lost game four by one shot. I feel like that shows in their head that it's obtainable and it can be done. So Yeah, man, I see it actually being done in 6, man. Like, no disrespect to Golden State, but yeah, I think they're going to give up that good old one home court, and it may change the locker room up after that game.
So I look
it's
at
going to be
coaches,
the
right?
headlines for the rest of the season.
So I always go to the coach match, and so Mike Brown is no spring chicken. Like he's very decorated, right? Before he even assisted for Steve Kerr, he was
He
decorated.
was part of
So,
he was part of the game.
so I mean, that's really hard to say, man, because that's a good little matchup within itself. Because it's always good to see the adjustments that they make from game to game, and that's another reason why you really can't be calling these series for real, because this is still the NBA. They still have to go out there and execute the scheme and the game plan, and you never know what that may look like, right? So that's why I say if they lose game 5, I'm not gonna be the dummy that doesn't know X's and O's and be like, oh no, they still got it. Like that's dangerous. That's dangerous on. That's like you don't want to be there, right? So
sound the alarm.
But yet still, they're the Warriors. Steph Curry, is Clay, is Draymond. You have to put respect on that. Shout out to Birdman. But you have to put respect on their name, bro. It's the same. It's not the same thing. It's kind of like when I used to root for Kobe. But with Kobe, I was just definite. I was like, oh yeah, baby, he finna just make this 3. He finna tie it up.
Oh, let's see.
Hey, 3. So for me, that's hot.